the epiphany for me in development, my early part in development, I was doing lots of economic modeling and technical studies and coming up with the answers, if you like, technocratic answers, and wondering why nobody was really responding to it. Why I'd go back into the minister's office and see this wonderful report sat on his desk or filed away or used as a doorstop or something. And the epiphany for me was to recognize that I shouldn't be coming up with the answers. Well, I should be asking the right questions and enabling people in developing countries to come up with their own answers. So they own the answer, they can respond to that, and they can start changing their relationship with each other. And whether that's large firms on the supply side coming up with agricultural technologies that will benefit everybody, but nobody takes it up. You have to be working, I think, to help people explore their own situation, ask the right questions, come up with the right answers, own the kind of process, if you like, and act on it. And that's our role in development. And that's, you have to have realism and optimism. That's the realist perspective. If you want genuine systemic change, it has to be owned and led and driven by others other than us. It has to be led by national actors. The optimism part of it is, has two dimensions. I'm optimistic that stakeholders in developing countries buy into this. My own experience, say, the Enable program we're talking about, and a recent review that TThe led, they referred to, we love the Enable way. And I don't think that's particularly because of the wonderful insight that we have. It's just the way in which we are seeking to help them to do better and realize their own agendas that align with ours. Where I'm less optimistic is the risk that creates in terms of time frame, and we can only work at the pace that they can work at. And that doesn't always align strongly with our funders' priorities. The time frames, the aversion to risk, the call for high visibility and direct attribution, and so on and so forth. And I recognize the real politic of this, but I think if change happens in a developing country we're working in, those national actors need to be rewarded for that change, as it's the relationships between each other that matter. They shouldn't be rewarding me as a British consultant paid by the British government or another government for the wonderful work that I've done, because I won't be there next year, 5 years later. They have to be reliant on each other. So I'm optimistic people will work in this way. I'm optimistic that they will support it and change and deliver better development outcomes. Less optimistic about the extent to which that meets domestic constituencies in the countries that we all come from.